All right, honey, I'm off to the course to go work on my form.
I'm sorry, that answer is incorrect. Please try again.
Howdy, y'all. Now you may be asking yourself, if I want to get better, why don't I head to a course? I mean, practice makes perfect, right? If you're trying to perfect your form, heading to a course may not be the best place to go. In fact, you're probably going to want to go somewhere else.
The correct answer is to head to the field. So why does fieldwork matter? I'm glad you asked. When I think about a surgeon, I realize that before they started operating on anyone, they spent countless hours practicing on dead people. The disc golf touring pros are the exact same, minus the dead people. Instead of going to a course where there are countless factors to consider, like how am I scoring? Am I gonna beat the other people on my card? Am I feeling rushed by other players? They head to a field and they spend time perfecting their form where the only factor is them. What does a good fieldwork session look like? I'm glad you asked. Let's jump into what you need.
So the first thing you're going to need is cones, or a target to hit. If you're just throwing into a field, it's going to be aimless, so have something to aim at. You're also going to need a tripod or something to hold a camera. The best way to get better is to film yourself, and so if you get a tripod, make sure it can hold a phone. That works just fine. I find a rangefinder to be super helpful, but you can also use UDisc to measure distance. Free app on the App Store. Of course, you're going to need discs, like all of the discs. Now, some of you only have a starter set, and that's fine. Some of you may have a problem, like me, and you collect a lot of discs. So it doesn't matter how many discs you have. I have quite a few, so when I head out to the field, I can bring a couple extra with me. But I didn't always have this many. I started with a starter set, like most of you. So when you're heading out to the field, you're going to want to walk and set your distance markers out there. I usually set mine around 150, 200, 250, 300, but I set them at these distances because those are achievable distances. Remember, we're out here to work on our form, not just to see how far we can throw. I also make an upshot zone, which is taking what I feel comfortable for putting distance, and that's my upshot zone. If I can land in that zone, I'm going to sink those putts. We're going to throw a lot of discs, so I use the Disc Golf Strong pregame routine, and then I also use my flight towel to practice that throw. Links for both of those listed below. Now, in fieldwork, you really have two options. You can either work on a specific thing or try to learn your bag. Let's talk about those different things. When it comes to learning specific things, maybe you're working on your timing, you're working on your form, something to do with your throw. So you're focusing on the release of the disc, not where it's going. It doesn't matter where it's going because that's not what you're looking at. Make sure you check between throws though to look at what you're doing. When you're focusing on specific shots, you're going to throw that shot over and over again so that you feel good. And you're watching the destination this time, just a little bit. The last thing I suggest doing in fieldwork, and probably the most important, is throwing all of your discs on every angle. What do I mean by that? There are some discs that you feel like you probably want to throw Anheuser. There's some discs that you want to throw Heiser. If you throw every disc in your bag on every angle, you're going to find out what the discs can do rather than what you can make the discs do. I highly suggest doing this because when you do this regularly, as you improve and your discs wear in, you'll find that they change a little bit. And I'd much rather do this in the field than when it counts during strokes. The whole point of field work is to get to know your discs while it doesn't matter. How long should these sessions go? Well, that's up to you. If you find yourself starting to wander around aimlessly, you've probably been out there too long. Only stay out there as long as you can focus on disc golf, not juggling. And that's going to do it for today's video. I do want to make sure that I'm telling you, you should not only go to a field. If you've got your form down, you're feeling confident, head to a course, lock it in, keep playing with that form in a course. When you're trying to nail down the specifics of your form though, or work on shots or things like that, field work is going to be vital for what you're doing. I want to thank you guys so much for coming and joining us for today's video. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, hit those buttons below. hit all of them, the buttons and the bells and the likes and all of that. We look forward to having you guys here. New content every Thursday. But for now, I'm gonna leave you with the birdie.